Our week ends the way it started, on the brink of war. All hopes were pinned on the Normandy talks that took place in Berlin. This happened on Thursday. Ukraine, France, Germany and Russia got together. They were at the same talking table. They talked for nearly 9 hours. But in the end, there was no breakthrough, no joint statement. There was only a vague commitment to keep talking. Now, Russia says that Ukraine is trying to rewrite the Minsk Accord. Ukraine says, we'll talk about the accord, but we cannot ignore the Russian buildup at our gates.
Today we can't talk about any security in Europe without stopping the war in the center of Europe and without ensuring real and effective security for Ukraine.
The Ukrainian position is uncompromising. In a draft project of the statement that was suggested for consideration, they have refused to cite Minsk agreements that issues related to post-conflict status of these territories. Donetsk and Luhansk regions should be settled in consultations and in dialogue with representatives of these regions.
Over in Warsaw, there was another meeting that took place. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson flew down to Poland. And he inspected the British troops stationed in Warsaw. He even had a moment to joke with the soldiers there. Listen to this.
Thank you very much. How long have you been here?
Thank you. Since December.
Since December?
Yeah.
Have you been enjoying it?
That's right.
Have you been to Warsaw?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Have you been to Krakow? Krakow. Krakow. But according to Mateusz, the Polish Prime Minister, you're all behaving yourselves very well.
Yeah,
better than well. Better than well. Fantastic. So thank you very much for what you're doing.
Good to see the soldiers in high spirits, but don't mistake that for complacency, because they know that the Russian threat is real, it is serious, and it continues to grow by the day. Boris Johnson himself realizes this. In Warsaw, he warned of bloodshed if Russia were to invade. He also had a message for Vladimir Putin. If you don't want NATO at your borders, this is the wrong strategy to get there.
Were Russia to be so foolish to make the catastrophic mistake of invading any part of Ukraine, the Ukrainian army, which themselves number about 200,000, maybe 150,000 in reserve, they will fight. And there will be bloodshed. And I think everybody in Russia must understand that. I think Putin, the Kremlin, should understand that if they want less NATO on their western borders, as it were, this is entirely the wrong way to go about it.
Well, Boris Johnson is not wrong about the bloodshed. These satellite pictures should give you an idea of what we're talking about. In Crimea, big reinforcements are arriving. Around 550 troop tents and hundreds of vehicles have been spotted. Reports say 10,000 Russian soldiers are camping in Crimea. In Belarus, it's even bigger. Helicopters, military vehicles and soldiers have been spotted at the Zabrovka airfield. That's less than 25 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. How is the other side responding? Well, Ukraine's 10-day drills are going strong. On Thursday, they received a new shipment of American weapons. What kind of shipments? They include javelins, grenades, and other defense equipment. But Russia still has the advantage in this game. They've planned this build-up perfectly. Their first deployments were in November and December, months ago. This was focused on eastern Ukraine. In January, the focus turned to Belarus in the north. The next theater is the Black Sea. 6 warships have already arrived there, 6 Russian warships. Ukraine says navigation has become, quote-unquote, impossible thanks to these deployments. Now, the worry is a naval blockade. If Russia can cut off access to the Black Sea, it would be a huge blow to Ukraine's allies. So NATO is trying to play catch-up with the Russians here. In Romania, more US soldiers are arriving by the day. They have been deployed to a port on the Black Sea. But that's as far as Joe Biden is going here. He will not deploy American soldiers to Ukraine under any scenario. That's what Washington has made clear, not even to evacuate US citizens.
What scenarios would you put American troops to rescue and get Americans out?
There's not. That's a world war. When Americans and Russians start shooting at one another, we're in a very different world than we've ever been in.
So what is Joe Biden's plan? What will Americans in Ukraine do if Russia invades? Well, Biden says, don't wait around for that. the US State Department has issued a new advisory for Americans living in Ukraine, American citizens. Leave as soon as you can. That is the gist of the latest US advisory. And just to be clear, Biden's European partners have not issued any such advisory. They've asked their citizens to reconsider coming here, but they're not asking those who are already here to leave. And this could be a huge blow to Ukraine's morale. They are preparing to defend their homeland. And their foremost ally, America, is asking its people to evacuate. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.